Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to our webinar. I can see there are still people logging on. We've already got quite a few people, 250 people logged on, so it seems like a full house. So I want to welcome all of you. I'm conducting this webinar to solve one major issue that everyone faces. Everyone struggles when they try to find a job in the UAE and elsewhere. And I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why this happens and some of the solutions, how you can deal with it, and hopefully it will be very informative and help everyone out. A few things before I begin. If you have any questions or feedback, I would definitely appreciate that. And you can just send me an email and I will help you any way that I can. Also, because everyone has such a busy schedule, I'm going to try to sum it up in the least amount of time, so I'll be a little fast, so I hope you can bear with me. I'm glad you're all here, and if you've struggled to find a job, you're definitely in the right place. And I also want to assure you that you don't have to pay any money to attend this webinar. It's totally free of charge. This is just to help everyone, so feel comfortable as you listen and learn from the information. Okay, let's dive right in. The agenda for today is that we will be discussing, and I'll break everything down. I'm going to cover the key components that will help you succeed in your job search, trying to find a job in the UA and otherwise. Your competition, I'll talk about that. Key information about your resume will be covered. And of course, what an employer is really looking for and the solutions to fill those positions. So, you're planning to find a job in the UAE. Great. But here's some very important information that I want you to know that you may not be aware of. Did you know that thousands of people are doing the very same thing? They're coming to the UAE looking for their dream job. And of these thousands of people that are arriving every day looking for their dream job, they're in the process of finding this job and reaching a goal. They're spending thousands of dollars because they have to have a place to live, they have to cover their lodging, they have to pay for food, travel, recruitment agency fees. In fact, that's just a few of the expenses that people incur. The list, it actually goes on. You see, every one of those thousands of people, just like you, they come here with dreams and goals. But the problem is, out of those thousands of people, very few actually reach their goal, meet their objective. Very few are successful. And you may ask yourself, why? Well, the answer is very simple. They are not prepared when they arrive. You see, there is a lot of competition. In fact, competition is one of the major reasons that individuals trying to find jobs here don't succeed. As I'm sure you probably are aware, candidates from all over the world come to the UAE, and that makes it harder for employers to make selections because they have so many people to choose from. Here's a staggering bit of information for you to consider. On average, for each job posted, employers receive over 500 resumes. Can you imagine how hard it is to go through that many resumes? Well, let me let you in on a little truth. They don't go through that many resumes. Many of these CVs are never even looked at. Now, true, this is unfair for those individuals who don't get their resumes viewed. But think about it. How in the world could one person, one employer, go through 5,000 resumes a week? Especially if, and they do, all tend to look exactly alike. They're all very similar. So one of the key pieces for success is having a resume that stands apart. As an experienced recruiter for over 15 years, I've seen it over and over again, and it is true. People don't get jobs fast, primarily because of their resume. So why do their resumes keep them from getting hired quickly, you ask? Because they all look alike. For an employer that's faced with reading thousands of resumes, their attitude becomes, you've seen one, you've seen them all. Now, here's another part of the problem. In addition to these resumes that all look alike, there are many companies out there offering so-called professional resume design, and they'll go so far to even guarantee you'll get an interview, maybe interviews. But I want you to know the truth. The truth is that these professional resume companies actually make things a lot worse because they create resumes that are full of fake information, filled with information that you are not. Can you imagine? An employer is so impressed with your resume that they call you in for an interview, and they quickly discover that they have a paper full of false information, full of lies, that basically you've lied to them to get an interview. So, how do you think employers like this? How do you think that goes over? Well, I can assure you, it makes them very mad. In fact, I would say pissed off. And who could blame them? So, you might get a few extra interviews with this fake resume technique. But in the end, it is truly going to hurt you. It's going to cause you more expense. It's going to be a blow to your integrity and self-confidence. And bottom line, it's going to leave you feeling really rejected. There's another bit of information that I want to share with you about resumes. I don't know if you know this or not, but all these resumes, fake or otherwise, are filling up the inboxes of these employers who are hiring. So that means becoming an intern or a fresher, well, the chances of that happening are very low because those resumes are filtered out completely in most cases. So, now that you know what not to do regarding your resume, let's take an important look at what these employers are actually looking for anyway. When a job is published, employers generally are very clear about the requirements of what they need and what they want to fill the position, what it's going to take for the person to be able to do to get this job. Sometimes these requirements can be very lengthy. They cover education, experience, skill level, lots of things. So when an employer is looking for someone who meets all of the requirements that they list, that's what they want. They want someone who can meet all of the requirements, not just one or two or one here, one there. So if you're applying for a job, any individual applying for a job like that, any job, you should be able to do what is being asked in order to fill the position. So there's a very key piece of information I want you to know about your resume. And when it comes to filling the requirements that the employer has listed, it's very important that your resume is a reflection of you, who you really are, what you're really capable of, what your personality is really like. All of that has to shine through. So what happens, the problem, your resume becomes a tool of disappointment. So, what's the solution? The problems we're addressing here are lack of preparation, competition, resumes. So let's talk about lack of preparation for a minute. Most people arrive, and as soon as they get here, or right after they get here, they start lining up interviews. Now, this can take 2 weeks, maybe longer, to line up interviews with companies. So that whole 2 weeks, while you're trying to line up interviews, you're spending all this money and time. But imagine if you already had interviews lined up, 5, maybe even 10 lined up when you arrive. So instead of spending, really wasting 2 weeks trying to line things up, you show up. If you take this one tip, you show up and you've already saved time and money. Now, when it comes to competition, you have to impress these employers by standing out above all these other applicants. Remember, there's thousands of applicants. It needs to happen that you impress them before the employer ever even meets you in person. So imagine having a way to achieve that very thing, having a way to impress the employer enough to ask you in for an interview and for them to be impressed before they ever even meet you. Now, with regards to your resume, the same thing is true. Consider this. What if that tool of disappointment that we just talked about became a tool of power and negotiation? A tool that would speak volumes about you and make you really shine like you truly should, really show you off at your highest potential. What if that resume left an impression so strong on employers that they really couldn't wait to meet you? That would be pretty great, huh? That you are positioned so strongly with employers or employers to be. But it gets even better. What if you could achieve all of the above, all of that, make that kind of impression, have those jobs lined up without spending any money? Well, here's the answer, and it's really quite simple. This is the answer to making that happen. You've got to be yourself. You've got to let your personality shine through. There's no better way to do that than record a video resume. Yeah, a live resume. And it doesn't take very long. It'll only take 3 minutes. That's probably less time than it takes to type it out, type your resume out. All you have to do is show up, dressed up like you're going to do an interview. So that's not hard, is it? And then be yourself, of course, which isn't hard. In a video resume, in this video resume, you're going to speak about yourself, talk about and demonstrate your skills, discuss your academics, your experiences, the way you want the employer to truly know you, know the kind of person you truly are. You get an opportunity to tell that story of great success, or to give that bit of information that maybe doesn't look that strong on paper, but you can bring it to life, live in front of the camera. I know you're getting excited now, and I know you want to know what to do next. Well, it's super simple. You join the very first video job portal in Dubai. You can find it at www.leading200.com. And this is the perfect site for people who are seeking dream jobs, and really even for employers who are looking for that very special and perfect candidate to fill their position. Leading200.com is a video job portal. It's a place that provides both job seekers and employers an incredibly effective online platform to obtain their goals in the absolute shortest amount of time. And the reason is because it focuses on you, your personality, the real you, your strengths, who you really are, live and in person, and not what's written on paper about you. So you get to show off your great personality, on all your charm and charisma, and talk about all the great things that you've done live. How great is that? So, don't delay. If you want to find your dream job in Dubai, then join now at www.leading200.com. And remember, this is Dubai's first ever free video job portal. Don't delay. Upload your CV now, and here's a bonus. Enter a drawing to win 7 free tickets to pursue your dream job. That's right. Upload your CV now and enter a drawing to win 7 free tickets to pursue your dream job. I want you to find your dream job in Dubai today. So join now. Jump on over to www.leading200.com, and I really wish you all the best of luck. I'm super excited for you. I know this is going to happen for you. I hope that this information has been helpful for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And get on over there, www.leading200.com, and let's get you going on finding your dream job today.